The full plot of Avengers Doomsday has been revealed. Now, it could be 100% real, or it could be completely wrong. We don't know yet, but after reading it from start to finish, I understood one thing: it matches almost perfectly with all the rumors we've been hearing so far, and even with the trailer footage we've already seen. That's what makes this leak so interesting. So before we go any further, this is your official spoiler warning, because in this video we're breaking down the entire rumored plot of Avengers Doomsday from beginning to end, and if even half of this turns out to be true, the MCU is about to change forever. So, Avengers Doomsday opens in New York City on Toby Spider-Man's Earth, and right from the very first scene, something feels off. It doesn't feel hopeful, it feels wrong, heavy, like something terrible is about to happen. Next, we see Toby Spider-Man fighting Deadpool and Wolverine, and this isn't a misunderstanding, it isn't random. They were sent there with a mission to wipe that world out completely, and to do that, they're carrying a planet-destroying device built by Beast. Their objective is simple, but devastating: destroy Toby World in order to save their own universe from an incursion, and that's the kind of choice that changes everything. Toby battles Hugh Jackman Wolverine in a brutal emotional fight. You can feel that neither of them truly wants this, but Wolverine manages to plant the device, and here's where it hits hard. When the bomb detonates, Wolverine stays behind, and both Wolverine and Toby Spider-Man, along with everyone on his Earth, are gone. But somehow Deadpool escapes and returns to his own X-Men Earth, and we see the destroyed world in the distance. Charles Xavier watches the destroyed world below with sadness, but they had no choice, and that line stays with you. We then cut to Tony's funeral. The tone shifts, but the grief remains. Steve speaks with some of the heroes, including Ant-Man, before returning the stones. There's a sense that this is the end of an era. Then Steve goes back in time and chooses to stay with Peggy. And for the first time in his life, Steve chooses himself. They have a son named James Rogers, and he have their quiet, peaceful life, the kind of life he fought for, the kind of life he truly earned. But peace never lasts in the multiverse. One day Loki visits them. This is before the Loki Season 2 ending, and you can already feel the tension the moment he appears. He tells Steve about the TVA, about timelines, about destiny, and then he drops the truth. He tells Captain America that this timeline will soon be pruned by TVA, because Steve was never meant to live there. He was never meant to have a son. Just imagine hearing that, being told that your happiness, your family, your entire life was never supposed to exist. But Loki offers Steve and his family a way out. He tells them he can take them to another universe, one where they technically don't exist, and they can finally live in peace. The Fantastic Four's universe. Before leaving, Loki gives Steve a special card to contact him, almost like a lifeline just in case. Steve and his family live there for 10 years. 10 years of stolen peace. Then we see Dr. Doom visiting Sue and Franklin. They clearly know each other. There's tension but also history. Doom says he has come to speak with Reed. He warns him about the Incursions and reveals their universe is next. And here's the thing, he doesn't sound insane. He sounds prepared. He proposes a plan, but they must travel with him to Earth 616. Then Doom asks something unsettling. Is it possible someone from another universe is living in theirs? They scan the planet. They discover an anomaly: Steve and his family. They confront Steve, who recognizes them after living there for a decade. There's no hostility at first, just confusion, fear. They explain the Incursions and ask him to come to 616 to help convince the Avengers to trust Doom's plan. They travel there, and Steve successfully persuades the heroes to listen, because when Steve Rogers speaks, people listen. Next, they visit the X-Men universe, but the X-Men are hostile, hardened, traumatized. They've survived multiple incursions. They trust no one. They assume the MCU heroes and the Fantastic Four have come to destroy them, and they attack. But Reed and Doom explain their solution. Let's build massive cannons on each Earth that will permanently separate the universes and stop the incursions. It sounds extreme, but extreme might be the only option. They split into teams. Each one goes to another Earth to place a cannon there. Meanwhile, Steve tells Thor he met a Loki who is still alive. Thor doesn't hesitate. He asks Steve to take him to Loki. So using Loki's card, they locate the TVA. But when they arrive in TVA, they saw everyone is dead in TVA, and Loki has had his heart ripped out. Yes, Loki is dead. That's the moment everything changes. They realize Doom is responsible. Steve goes back to confront Doom, and this is where the mask truly comes off. Doom reveals his true plan: to allow the incursions to happen so he can rebuild the multiverse in his own image and resurrect his dead family. Not domination for power, domination for grief. He takes Steve to his castle in Latveria on his Earth. There, Steve meets Doom's followers, masked witches. One of them impersonates Peggy to manipulate him, twisting the knife emotionally. Then Doom reveals the most devastating truth: Steve's presence in their universe is what triggered their incursion, because he didn't belong there. It also led to the death of Doom's family. Doom became obsessed with stopping the incursion, conducting dangerous experiments. One failed. It killed his family. It disfigured him. It forced him to wear the armor and mask. And in his mind, Steve caused all of it. So as revenge, Doom kills Steve's son in front of him. No speech. No mercy. Just pain. Doom announces that the Avengers are coming. Latveria prepares for war. The Fantastic Four, the Avengers, and the X-Men unite and march on Latveria. Thor prays to Odin, and Odin sends an army from Valhalla to join the battle. This isn't just a fight, it's the end. A massive war erupts as the Earths begin to collide. Buildings crumble. Skies tear open. Reality fractures. Eventually, the universes crash into each other and are destroyed, killing everyone. Heroes, villains, armies, everyone. Everyone except Doom, because it's revealed that he stole Loki's powers. Using them, he creates Battleworld. He resurrects everyone and erases their memories. They believe Battleworld is all that has ever existed. No Avengers, no multiverse, no past. We see them living new lives in this false reality, smiling, unaware, controlled. And above them all, Doom sits on his throne as the Emperor of Battleworld, not as a villain, but as a god. The end.